60.
Kalyan, you have to adjust your camera where almost half you're not. Yeah, go down. No problem. Yeah, yes. A little bit more. Face above your head. If you reduce it, that would be great.
Yes.
Okay, great,
Yes.
Kalyan.
Okay.
Like Hema,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are you doing today, Kalyan?
Thanks, Dr. Hema. I'm doing pretty good. How has it been for you?
Yeah, very well, very well. Thank you so much for asking. So are we ready? Can we just take off?
Yeah, let's get the ball rolling.
Okay. If everyone else can mute, there is a lot of noise coming in. Okay, so today, we have already had a few rounds earlier, and now we want to take it to, technical, understand your technical understanding that are your competency matching with Indium's need.
Okay.
So today we want to talk about that where do you see the data and AI engineering services market in India in 3 years? And what position do you want this company to occupy in it?
Okay. Obviously, from what I've gathered from the previous conversation, so right now the data and AI services constitutes about 1/3 of the revenue at Indium, which is approximately $35 million. And the objective of the mission is to increase it to $100 million in 3 years. And my goal is to achieve that target in less than 3 years, maybe in 2 years, right? And increase the overall percentage of the data and AI services to about 60% of the total revenue. So these are some of the figures that I would probably work towards achieving.
So when you say that, you are going to take this target from 3 years within 2 years. So what's your plan like? So how do you think, we can achieve these numbers within 2 years?
Okay, so right now, if we are assuming that 24 months and the target is $100 million, so I will work backwards from that particular revised or rebaselined target. And my strategy would be to first come up with, we're talking about $65 million. Of the $65 million, I would say about 1/3 of it should come from the existing accounts, from the existing customers with cross-sell, upsell opportunities. And we're talking about $20 to $25 million as the net size of this opportunity. And over here, working with the current account leads and partnering with the pre-sales and the GTM team, identifying those tangible opportunities which will account for this $20 to $25 million as far as expanding the footprint in the existing accounts is concerned. Now, I would have a second strategy in terms of coming up with new package services. And those new package services will be built on the problem statements or the problem areas that Indium has solved over the last 26 years of its existence. These are net new services, net new service offerings, and those would probably account for the second half, which is the remaining $20 to $25 million of the revenue target. And the third bucket is co-sell opportunities with the partner ecosystem that Indium currently has. Indium has got strong partnerships with Databricks, Snowflake, and the other players. So get in line with the co-sales motion strategies and work towards achieving that remainder of the target, right? So this is how I would go about shrinking that target from 3 years to 2 years with working backwards and having a calculated plan.
So other than this, this is regarding the AI space. But other than this, what are your plans for the organization?
Okay, so um, so one of the other areas, which is a pretty big opportunity area that I have seen, is the modernization programs. Okay, a lot of customers who are still on legacy stacks and legacy platforms are looking for solutions to migrate and modernize them onto the modern stacks. And this is where Lifter, okay, which is your proprietary offering and which has got a lot of traction already in terms of modernizing the legacy stacks, can come into play, can do that assessment and come up with the blueprint, right? So this is one other big chunk of area modernization opportunities that I would put focus and emphasis on.
Okay. Other than this, any other areas? Or do you feel that these two areas are sufficient enough to move according to our plans?
So the other area which I will have to do some more research, that I have to probably find out some more answers, is in the data science and MLOps area. The evidence and the data currently that I have at my disposal doesn't suggest that this would probably be one more opportunity area for growing the footprint. This space needs some more investigation, analysis, and research. And if found to be a potential revenue generation area, we could probably think of coming up with services and work in this area as well.
So don't you feel that, this more than the outward research, you need to do some, internal research?
Yeah. So alluding or referring to the previous question and the answer that I said, so for the $100 million target and that to be achieved, my first focus is on existing accounts, existing customers, and with a 1,300 strong data and analytics team, I'm pretty sure that this team would already have identified a whole bunch of opportunities, expansion areas, and cross-sell upsell avenues that we can tap into. So that is inward looking in terms of leveraging the customer context and the opportunities that this team already has. And that has to be channelized and translated into tangible revenue generation opportunities, right? And then from an outward looking standpoint is what I alluded to, coming up with new services that can sort of land new logos, and new logos working with the sales team and the GTM team should help in getting the traction from an external basis as well.
Great. So coming to our next question. So we talked about it earlier also, but I just want to take it a bit further. That you have been at Teradata for a long time, and you have never owned a standalone P&L. So now, how do you give us that confidence that you are able to manage a $30 million practice with full revenue, margins, investment accountability, and not only just drive the accountability?
Yeah, so just to sort of clarify it here, I did have the P&L responsibility as well at Teradata. So for the analytical applications practice and the cloud modernization practice, I was responsible for managing the P&L. Okay, and that involved ensuring renewals, that involved ensuring that the utilization and the margins are maintained. That was the KRA in my case. So some of the
Can you
learnings.
just take us through the numbers also? That would be nice.
Right. So when I started, I started with a practice that had revenue of less than 200K, annual revenue of less than 200K. And I built that practice to become a $35 million revenue generation practice, right? And then that meant I had to expand not only in the analytical application space, but in the wider value chain, which includes the data engineering and the consumption side as well. So this was built over a period of time, and the initial utilization targets that I had was somewhere between 70 to 75%. But then, as you can see, no good work gets rewarded. So I had been given an extended target of maintaining 80% utilization subsequently for the entire team, and also maintain a margin of 15% along with the utilization, right? So I have been bettering these numbers and stats for my two practices over the years. And so my way of going about doing that is building it around 4 pillars. Those 4 pillars included pre-sales support, competency development framework, innovation, and then coming up with cross-sell and upsell opportunities, right? So this is how I built these practices, and ensured that those targets are met.
Okay. And what was the team size that you were managing with these revenues?
120 plus spread across globally.
Okay. So now when we talk about, this project that we are talking of, so here we have, people from different cultures, different tech stacks, and different ways of working. So the culture is all fragmented and disintegrated at the moment. So how do you take this, and make a seamless culture which is performance oriented?
Okay. So this is this is a typical problem, and in my context, I would probably align it with when I was given the responsibility of not just the analytical applications, but even the data engineering practice as well, right? So the ways of working. So my first approach is to ensure that there is a standardization as far as ways of working is concerned. Okay. Now, the acquired teams would probably be having different ways of working, different patterns, different templates, right? And instead of asking them to adopt the new ways of working, I would work towards identifying the gaps, right, between their ways of working and my practice ways of working, and ensure that the gap or the deltas are understood by the team, which is incoming team, and align them to to work towards my current practices way of working that has helped in generating that revenue, generating that profit margin, generating that utilization, right? So I would reason those practices, saying that although there are differences, if we align and then work as one team, the synergies would help in achieving our objectives, right? The combined objectives. Okay. So my way is to understand those differences between different teams and cultures, and seamlessly bring in those changes and ensure that alignment. This has to be done through road shows, through workshop sessions, right? And standardization. right? So that is how I would focus on bringing that alignment.
So, Kalyan, you just mentioned that, you would try to align the entire teams to your way of working. So what if their way of working is better than yours? So would you
I
not like to do a kind of a analysis and understand, what their culture is and what their ways of working are, and try to see which one is the best and which fits, the current need? Would you not like to do that way?
Wonderful. So we would pick the best of the breed, right? And if there is evidence which clearly indicates that there are certain aspects which generate more outcomes and more success, we'll be more than happy to adopt them, right? It's two-way. It's not one way. It's going to be a two-way traffic, and this, like you said, will take a series of road shows and sort of workshops, and whatever stands as the best will be adopted, and the ways of working will have to change. Correct. Agree.
And while you are doing this, an acquired, team's top performer, and the one who was their technical leader earlier, he refuses to report to you because he believes that, he is better than you and he should have been made, in this position. So he is passive aggressive with you. He is not supporting you. He is not ready to report to you and bringing all kind of challenges possible for you. How do you deal with that? And on top of it, he is a top person in delivery. He has good technical knowledge. All the clients love him.
Super. Okay.
What do you do?
Right. So the approach is going to be similar to that alignment that we talked previously, right? Now, if this is a brilliant individual, but then there is a org vision or goal, right? And with this merger acquisition and with me coming into picture, I have given a roadmap and a plan, right? And that is what the leadership team has bought into. And that roadmap and plan is something that I'm going to discuss with him. And if he has constructive inputs, I will accommodate those constructive inputs into this plan,
No, he
right?
doesn't
And
has any inputs. He doesn't like you. He just wants to be in your place.
uh, I mean, so um, unfortunately for him, that's a decision that his leadership team took. Okay. And from my side, I'm going to be accommodative in ensuring that his aspirations are addressed in alignment with the vision of the org and the company. But if they are detrimental to the company's vision and the ulterior goal, um, some hard measures have to be taken, right? And which means if that means providing that feedback and ensuring that there is alignment from a brilliant individual like him, so be it.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Moving forward, just I want to check on with you that, we want to work on LLM ops. So just want to understand your experience and how you have, if you have ever handled LLM ops, the drift in it, the retraining pipelines, production monitoring and deploying an LLM, your insights and activities, whatever you have done in this area.
Right. So my work in this particular area is around the migration and the modernization projects, where we have used LLMs for code conversion. Okay, and this aspect of there were two paths to choose. One was to build a code converter using the LLM so that the output is as deterministic as possible. And the other option was to use LLM to do the actual code conversion itself, right? Um, so in the first case, where there are regulatory restrictions, where there are strict needs as far as deterministic output is concerned, we have trained the LLM to build the code converter. Okay. If I were to sort of, peel the layer, okay, so a code converter has got components like a translator, a wrapper, okay, and generating an abstract a decision tree, right? So this is what gets used in converting the code. And to sort of ground here, the example is to convert an Oracle PL SQL stored procedure to a Teradata PL SQL stored procedure, right? So there's going to be a translator, a wrapper, and an ADT tree. So we are using LLM to build the code for the translator, build the code for the wrapper, and build the code for the ADT, right? So this translator is getting trained on the data that we already have acquired over the course of our multiple migration projects, right? So here, the aspect of data drift is minimum, and the output is as deterministic as possible. Now, the scenario 2 is where where there is where it is allowed to use the LLM to convert the code directly, right? Okay, so the arrangement between us and the customer is that we are allowed to use the customer's code to a Claude or to Olama and get the code converted directly. So in that case, we'll use the pre-trained data from the customer's context and ensure that the LLM gives a better output, right, than one which is probably more hallucinated. Yeah.
So what kind of data security mechanisms did you enforce on these models?
Okay, so in the first case, I talked about two scenarios. In the first case, since the code converter or the software is being built, right? There's no exposure of the customer data in this particular scenario. There's no data that is going in. So we are asking for the LLM to build the component, the software component. So that in that particular case, there's no security issue that comes into picture. In the
But
second
it is
case,
said that, even if the data may not be going out, but if you put anything on the LLM, there is a chance that the data is not secure. So is it on a local machine, or are you using it on the cloud, or how is it?
so this is a sort of tenant. In the case of Claude, it's basically on a tenant that is within the firewall. That's not outside the firewall. It doesn't go outside the firewall, right? So those are the security measures for the first kind. Now, in the second kind, where data is directly given to the LLM, so we have used masking, anonymization techniques to ensure that the PII data is not made available to the LLM, and the masked and the the masked data is only provided to the LLM so that there's no security risk of providing the PII data to the LLM, right? So these are the measures that we have employed.
There are different, platforms, like we have Databricks, Snowflake, Microsoft Fabric. So if a client wants a quick, update from you that which platform is the best for them, what platform would you recommend and why?
Okay, so okay.
And you have to give a quick answer to them, not doing any homework.
Yeah, so my idea of solving this problem is to come up with a decision tree. Okay. Now, the decision tree takes two inputs into account. One is the customer specific requirements in terms of the data volumes, the concurrency, the sort of the usage, the access patterns into account. And then the second input would be the platform capability. So in this case, we're talking about Databricks, Microsoft Fabric, and Snowflake, right? And those platform capabilities are available publicly, right? Now, the decision tree would take these two inputs into account, and it would come out with a recommendation, and the recommendation would be graded. So for read-only workloads, for data science related workloads, for analytical workloads, taking these two inputs into account, if Databricks is the ideal platform, is the preferred platform, the decision tree would put out that as a recommendation. So I would put my money, I would put my confidence on the decision tree to give me that recommendation for me.
Okay, good. What we see, in your profile is that you have worked on this Python Antler automation works, but we couldn't see something like, Spark optimization, feature stores, or model serving infrastructure. For our requisite position, we are finding that it's quite a significant technical gap. How do we proceed with you?
Okay. So as far as Spark is concerned, majority of the projects, migration projects that we have executed involved conversion of the Spark code or the Spark logic to native database logic, right? So that is something that I'm familiar with. As far as feature stores is concerned, so that is an area that I'm going to rely on an existing expert that's currently there with Indium, and then build the service offers in that particular arena. So I wouldn't probably claim to be an expert in those areas. My focus has been on the data engineering and the data modernization side. As far as the feature store is concerned, I would build that skill, and I'm going to be honest over here and rely on the experts that Indium already has.
So looking at, your profile, you have mentioned that you have 100% renewal rate. So it's sounding quite extraordinary to me. It can have, two sides, like either you have been managing the expectation so conservatively that, you have never pushed a client hard enough to actually transform their business. What is it actually?
Okay. So the core and the core aspect to this is the trust, okay, and the transparency. Okay, so with all my customers, one of the core tenets or the principles that I've ensured that does not get breached is the trust and the transparency. Now, so I've been frank enough to admit that some of the features and capabilities of the product are not mature enough for the customer to leverage them already, right? And in some cases, in one of our engagements, an upgrade to a newer platform version did not work out as expected. The customer did roll back to the previous version that we had, of the previous platform that we had, right? But then the effort and the honesty that was put in to let the customer know what happened, what was the core issue, right? And the confidence that we gave to ensure that this will be addressed in the next release of the product ensured that we saved an erosion and the customer went ahead with a renewal. And I can vouch that I would be disappointed if any one of my customers do not renew our services, our engagement with them. That's the high bar that I've set.
So how do you enforce this culture in your teams?
Right. So understanding the customer context and understanding the big picture is very important. Okay. The customer has their customers to serve. If their customers are successful, the customer is going to be successful. And if the customer is successful, that translates to us being successful, right? So to understand that context and to build a sense of that ownership and accountability in the team is the cultural aspect that I'm going to bring about, right? And once that comes in, then the ownership. So what is at stake if this project does not work, if this project fails? That sense of ownership and onus, when it comes, then naturally the entire team comes together to ensure that there's no failure. There could probably be lessons learned, but there won't be any failures if this culture is there within the team and the organization.
Okay. So coming to our next question. So what's your leadership style?
Okay, so I would probably, my leadership style is democratic. I would work towards driving consensus and ensure that whatever consensus is achieved, there is alignment to that consensus. Once that alignment is there, then the entire team has to work towards achieving. There's commitment from the team because we have arrived at that consensus, and then the entire team has to march towards achieving that goal or surpassing that goal. So I take effort in bringing that consensus, ensuring that there are pre-work sessions, there are whiteboarding sessions, and every voice has a say, and there is commitment from the entire team.
Managing large teams, it's not easy to get a consensus. The leader has to, sometimes take decisions which are not based on consensus. So how do you react to that?
Okay, so the majority of the decisions, I would probably say that they have to be arrived with this process, but there could be exceptions. Okay, and the exceptions could be, for example, if I take the case of building a new service offer, okay, there's probably some brilliant team member who's not convinced with going down that path, right? But then, there is the other majority which is convinced. So my thought process or the way I would go about doing it is hold your sort of horses for some time. Okay, let's ensure that we honor the majority here. If we are proven wrong, we'll admit that you are right, and we'll go about making you as a significant stakeholder in the decision-making process going forward, right? But more often than not, when the majority is on one side and you go ahead with the decision, it turns out to be a smooth affair or a smooth ride. There are going to be exceptions, but you have to manage and handle them.
So why should we, choose you for this role? Why you?
Okay, so 3 reasons. So one, I did my homework in terms of
Everyone has done homework, Kalyan. Everyone who is sitting here.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting to the specifics. Okay.
Okay.
So in terms of understanding the ulterior target, and I have put together a roadmap, a concrete roadmap with justification and with milestone-based tangible plan on achieving and overachieving that target. And my body of work in this particular space and my previous experience in achieving similar kind of targets with this roadmap is what makes me a good fit for this particular role, right? And the methodic process, it's not just on in thin air, but I've broken down that roadmap into milestone-based achievable targets, right? And hopefully that should work in my favor.
So today, Kalyan, we have a few more panel members with us. So I would just request if somebody else has a question to ask, they may raise their hand, and then we can take them in for the question. If anybody has a question.
I have one.
Yeah, sure.
Hi, Kalyan. Geeta here.
Hi, Geetanjali. Good evening.
Good, you know my full name. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
Good. Kalyan, if I called the three most senior people who have worked with you directly under you in the last 5 years, not your clients, not your peers, but your direct reports,
Mhm.
and ask them what is it actually like to work with you? What would the honest answer be? Not the complimentary answer, but the honest one.
Okay. So the honest answer would be that I have empowered and enabled them to succeed, and I have made them as world-class architects and consultants, and who can solve the most challenging problems that they are put to solve. That's going to be the one theme feedback that you would hear from those folks.
Can you give me one name if I would personally call that person now who's worked with you for 3 years and put them on a speaker? Would you want to do that?
Sure. Yeah.
What would that name be?
Oh, okay. Ashish, Nikhil, Shrikant, Sonali, yeah, and maybe many more.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that quality. What would be the opposite? The thing that person would say quietly after the call ends to their spouse that evening.
To there? Sorry, say it again.
To their spouse that evening, once he cuts the call. And what does he talk to his wife at the same time after cutting the call?
Oh, okay, okay. He probably needs to spend more time with his family.
Has anyone ever quit your team specifically because of you, not because of the better opportunity, but because of you and what happened?
Because of my style of working?
Yeah.
None.
Okay.
So, Geetanjali,
Hmm.
you done or you have to?
One last. And if I offered your top 3 direct reports a 20% pay rise to follow you to this new company, how many would say yes? And which one would say no and why?
I think the yes part is easy. I think pretty much all of them would probably say yes. That's a testament to my longevity at Teradata. So the no part of it is not my direct reportees, but maybe someone like maybe my peer. My peer would probably say no to it. Okay, so again, not.
Why would he say no?
It could probably be because of some.
Do you have any conflicts?
Not conflicts per se, but I don't know. I mean, I want to be fair, and I would probably say that it could be some insecurities. I mean, I would probably put it that way.
Okay. One more question. Name one decision. I'm sorry, I'm putting you in a tough spot, but
I'm enjoying.
okay.
Go for it.
Name one decision you made in the last 5 years, okay, that you know was wrong. Not because the outcome was bad, but because your reasoning at that time was wrong.
Okay, so yeah, I'm honest in admitting that I think one of the service offerings that I championed about 5 years back did not get the desired impact. Meaning there was effort that went into building that service package, but then that service package did not get us the revenue. There was no return on investment on that service package, right? There are reasons to it. The adoption of that particular service offer did not go as expected, as anticipated. And if I had a chance to rebuild it, I would try to do it differently.
Did you tell anyone at that time that you had been wrong in your reasoning?
I mean, there is the evidence is out there, right? I mean, so the evidence is clearly out there, and there is no ducking the fact that that particular service offer did not get the revenue or the ROI. So clearly, the thought process that went into building that package was probably flawed. Right? So that's how I would qualify it.
So, Kalyan, one question from my side. Are you
Yes,
an
Sachin.
intelligent person or you're a clever person?
Am I an intelligent person or a clever person?
Will you call yourself an intelligent person or a clever?
Sachin, you're not audible.
Would you call yourself an intelligent person or a clever person?
Is there a third option? Or do I need to pick between these two?
I've just asked a question. Now, how you manage this question is something I know how to manage this question.
I would probably say I'm an intelligent person.
Is there a need to answer this question? No? Is there another way of answering it without answering it? That's the key over here. That I would give you a hint.
Okay.
You just define both. An intelligent person is a person who is intellectually high on the intellect part, while as a clever person is intelligent as well as clever.
Okay.
So I have answered that I am clear with what is an intelligent person and what is a clever person. Did you get that?
Okay.
An intelligent person is going to be only intelligent, right? While a clever person is intelligent as well as clever.
I don't agree, Sachin. I don't agree. I would beg to differ on this.
We can debate on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
okay. We will talk about it later. Let's first, finish it, and maybe
Right.
then
And
we can.
the earlier question of Gitanjali there, how many of your people would follow? It was a very simple. Already, all my direct reportees were unhappy on my farewell, and they have already told me that whatever the opportunity, we are ready to come. And as and when the opportunity, please remember us. We are there to come, and that kills it.
But are you currently in job or are you, your farewell is already done?
No,
Okay.
Hmm?
no, I'm in my current job, right?
Yeah,
Right.
so then you can't say that.
Then you can confidently say that I know my team. They are very happy with me. The day I resign, they would be saying that
No,
wherever
that's
you're going,
what,
boss, call
yeah.
me back.
So,
Call me there.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I said. So I said that the first part of it is probably very straightforward.
Mm.
They would have confidence in me to follow me. I was focusing on the second part,
Mm.
No,
where
but
she said, who would not? Hmm.
you're going very theoretical. No, it has to be spontaneous. That all the more day I leave on my farewell, I'm sure all of them are going to say that boss, call me whenever there's a good opportunity. We will join, and that confidence will talk about no, not the overconfidence, but the confidence part of it. So we have to sound confident, not overconfident.
Yeah. Okay.
Because see,
Good, good, very good, Sachin. Anybody
I
else has a
agree with
question? Yeah, Preeti, you
one.
have something more to
I,
ask?
I agree with Sachin. Um, the answer to this has to be prompt. It just shows the confidence. The more time you take, the more you think. Whether everybody's following you or not is a different thing. But how promptly you answer matters in this particular
Kalyan, you
question.
face the
The
camera.
timing uh, or how quickly you answer is what matters.
spontaneity.
It shows you are confident that people will follow.
Very
Your
nice.
face is being observed at every second. Kalyan, one question. Your IIT Roorkee MTech is in engineering, electrical engineering. You spent 20 years in data and AI. And at no point did you do a management degree, an MBA,
Mhm.
or a leadership program, nothing formal. Every competitor for this role has an MBA from IIM or ISB. Why should that not matter? And why did you never do it?
Yeah. So to me, I will probably put it this way, but an experience, a work experience that sort of gives me joy, freedom, and the outcomes is always paramount than a degree that will turn out to be irrelevant. Okay, so I bank on my body of work and the results that I have delivered than sort of earning a degree that probably would not give me an uh, additional value, right? So that's been my philosophy. I have, if not formal programs, I I believe in this LLL, lifelong learner adage. I have been enhancing my personal development skills and professional development skills in one way or the other through internal and external certifications and participating in conferences, forums, and being a thought leader. And that gave me the exposure and the opportunities that a formal degree probably wouldn't have given me. That's how I would put it across.
I would have
So
answered it in a different way actually.
I, okay, answering will come later. I still have questions. You said experience is better than an MBA. I have an MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Are you telling me my degree is less valuable than your experience?
See, it's a personal choice. I wouldn't want to necessarily categorize it like that. So, in my case, my thought process was to make my work speak and get enriched and enhanced with the work and experiences that I'm learning along the way than an IIM degree.
Did you ever apply or not get in?
I did not apply.
So you chose not to apply.
I chose not to apply.
So in 20 years at Teradata, did the lack of an MBA ever hold you back from a promotion, a role, a client? Can you
None.
please?
None. Emphatic none.
Okay. And if your son came to you today and said, Dad, should I do an MBA or should I just get an experience? What would you actually tell him?
Yeah. So my sincere and sort of, realistic advice would remain the same. And I would ask him to talk to, fraternity, talk to people in the fraternity who have sort of, done both, meaning people who did an MBA and the value that they are creating for their companies and the society versus people who have not done the MBA, right? And I will let him take his own decision.
Good. And you talked about thought leadership. Name one original idea, not a framework, not a synthesis of existing thinking. One genuine original idea that you have contributed to AI or data engineering discourse.
Yeah. So this was the topic at the current 25 conference last year in April 2025. This was about revolutionizing the social security benefits dispersal. And this idea was, or this topic was received very well. And in fact, a couple of enterprise SaaS companies approached me saying that they would want to productify this idea, and they wanted me to sort of, conceptualize and bring this to life. I didn't had the time to get going on that particular path, but that feedback gave me a lot of joy that that idea of revolutionizing social security benefits, it resonated with at least a fraction of the audience who listened to that talk.
So, can you compare yourself honestly to a well known Indian AI thought leader you respect?
I clearly sort of cannot cannot brag myself as the top AI thought leader in the country. I think I still have some way to go. But then, if you were to compare me, if I were to compare with someone, that would probably be Guru Anantanarayanan.
All right. Thank you. And why would you do that?
Guru has been championing the cause and the usage of AI in industrial automation.
Mhm.
And so there is a significant impact of AI specifically in democratizing industrial automation is concerned. And I think he's doing pretty good work.
All right. Thanks, Kalyan.
Thank you.
Over to anyone who wants to ask questions.
So, Kalyan, the answer lies very simple. As I believe in LLL, okay, lifelong learning, I do read a lot in terms of case studies and keep myself
Sachin, can you
abreast.
keep the mic closer to you? It's very difficult to hear you.
Yeah. So I basically believe in lifelong learning, and I keep on upgrading myself and updating myself on the current topics and various case studies, and the various methodologies. So irrespective if I do an MBA from an IIM, that would always be little older as compared to the present one, the present state. So obviously, though does give you that kind of a thought process. I am building that own thought process by self-learning and going through various, what you call case studies and various, strategies which all other organizations are. So, irrespective, I am MBA graduate right now, but I'm nonetheless, not as non-compete with them, important. I'm in competition with them. So, irrespective what I'm going to learn at a classroom level, I'm doing it at my own level over here. So that way, you can always, defend that, uh, because all your answers were sounding me more of a defensive and justification. You know, where that leadership goes. A leader strongly believes in a set of thought process, and he would say that accordingly. So irrespective, I'm not doing, I'm not having. It would have always been better, but since uh, the work has a lot of, my work keeps me occupied. What I do is I invest myself and connect with people, understand case studies, and I get myself updated on various thought processes. And I do have a mentor from an
Mental.
IIM.
Okay.
Okay.
I
Again,
open.
then you should have one. You should not say that if you have a mentor, because they might ask who is the mentor.
All right. Sachin, we'll invite Hemaji back and let her give the feedback because it's almost her time to go to sleep. And then you all can give your feedbacks if you want to. But
Firstly, thanks a lot, and this is pretty good, experience that I've had. So, thank you so much, Dr. Hema, and everyone else. Yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. So firstly, I want to compliment you, Kalyan. As compared to the last one, this was, you were much more confident and you gave the answers also quite nicely, the hand movements and the gestures, the positioning, everything worked quite well. So regarding your critical feedback, first I want to hear from you. You know, after an interview, you know what you said. So first, before I speak anything, I want to hear from you, your inputs.
Okay. Yeah. I think at least there were 2 or 3 questions which I probably could have done better. But then I would have to prepare a little more on those questions, and specifically the LLM ops one that you asked. That was sort of a bouncer for me, and I was trying to dig into my experience to answer that question. So, especially for this particular role, um, I asked the executive search company the technical areas that this particular role is covering is too huge. And having one leader encompass all these technical areas is going to be difficult. So the executive search person told me that that's not going to be the case, and there are going to be other leaders who would be working with you, or who would be reporting to you, and they will take care of those areas, right? And hence, based on that particular confirmation, I did not do a little more research in the LLM ops area. Okay.
That's perfectly okay because it's not necessary that you know each and everything, and
Yeah.
you are
Right.
not here delivering, the technicalities.
Right. Right.
So you
Understood.
have a
Yeah.
team who has
Mm,
all SMEs and all capabilities, so they would be doing that. So that's okay. That's fine.
right. So that is one. And the second thing that I made a note was I probably could have been a little more specific as far as the integration of the diverse teams is concerned. Okay. When you ask that question of mergers
Culture.
and acquisition, yeah, culture, right? So
Mhm.
I probably could have been a little more specific in terms of uh, what could be those tangible outcomes that I would drive and what are the actions that I can drive on, right? So these are the two that I've noted down that I probably could have done better. Maybe there are others, and I want to hear from you.
Yeah. So I have noted a few things. Firstly, everything was okay. Number one is your, speed of speaking.
Mhm.
I found today it was bit slower than the last one. So
Mhm.
you can maybe you increase your pitch also a bit, and speed felt at certain places it felt quite slow to me.
Okay.
So just
Okay.
have a look at that, just an observation.
Okay.
And then when I spoke to you regarding your P&L, so you
Mm.
just spoke about the revenues.
Ah.
So maybe you can add few more elements
Mm.
to it.
Mm. Okay.
Secondly, when you were talking about the modernization programs,
Mm.
you can bring in few more areas where you would like to work on. Not only, only 2, 3 areas you give. Once you are leading a practice, so from
Mm.
your prior experience, you can bring in 5, 6 areas where you can focus and improve.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think I sort of, talked only about the platform modernization, but then there is also the entire analytics modernization. There is the pipeline modernization. There is sort of, there are a few other areas. Yeah, I can talk about them. Yeah. Yeah.
And initially, when we started, I asked you how would you, impact uh, this organization. So you said that I would bring in, data services, make the timelines from 3 years to 2 years. But
Mm.
then with that, it was just about the timeline and one product that you spoke of. Are there other
Um,
opportunities, or is it the only one?
I didn't talk about the product, but I said the catalog of services, right? So one is to get more cross-sell and upsell with the existing catalog of
So
services.
catalog of services, if you are going to roll out, if there is a plan for 3 years and you plan to roll out in 2 years, would
Mm.
it means the homework the company has done of all the catalog to be done in 3 years, it would have been backed up by some data, some research, some consultancy, and they would have arrived at these numbers. So straight away you are slashing 30%. It would, if I were the person, I would feel that uh, was it a fluke that all the research that we did?
I didn't know. See, what I said is, so if you were to break it down into three parts, so to achieve the target, one part of it is to make use of your existing catalog of services, right? And there could be cross-sell, upsell opportunities. This is the low-hanging fruit, the immediate wins that you can get. And the second,
Okay,
I
so if
said,
it's okay with you, it's okay. The technicalities,
oh,
maybe,
sorry.
I'm not
Yeah,
able to understand. So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
that's okay. Yeah, I think that's what I have written. Rest, I found it, I found it okay.
Thank you. Thank you,
Good,
Dr.
very
Yano.
good.
I know.
I see quite a lot of improvement in your confidence, your posture, other things. Very nice.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dr. Yano.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Mm. Okay, the floor is now open. Sujay, Preeti, Ravi, let's wrap it up quickly, please.
Yeah, I felt
Ravi.
it was really cool. I think you were standing there very confident. Uh, yeah, a couple of answers can be improved by, I think that's up to you. I mean, up to you in the sense you have to maybe do more
Mm.
looking inward plus research, I felt. That's it. Otherwise, it was great.
Okay. Thanks a lot, Sujay. Ravi.
So today your confidence level was quite high. What I saw, like what I observed rather. Okay, and yes, your voice was little low. Maybe it could be your mic or something. I'm not sure because normally your voice is maybe like you're using your earphone or something. I'm not sure. Okay, your voice was little
Oh,
low,
he's
but
always on earphones.
compared to
Hmm?
so maybe
Kalyan
like,
is always on earphones.
so maybe like
I don't know.
but
Okay, so
compared to other days, it was little low, uh, but
okay.
your confidence
Kalyan, I
level was
think it
quite
was
high.
just that energy a bit low. I mean, voice and all is
Ah,
okay, but yeah, his energy is slightly low today.
yes, maybe yeah.
Maybe it
That
is
would
after
be
the office
possible.
and he's tired also.
I was in calls until 9:20, 9:25. So I was speaking a
So
lot.
you
So
were in
that's
rush.
fine. Yeah.
But
Okay.
other than that, like I see like everything was good. Like I don't have any major observations. Like most of the inputs we have got from Dr. Bhima and others, right? So everything
Great.
was good.
Okay, sounds good. Ravikant ji?
Are you
Hi,
there?
hi. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I found that. Hello, am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
you
you
are.
are audible. Hi,
Yeah.
hello, sir.
Uh,
Welcome.
Hi. So my observation, I found you while speaking, you were calculating something in your back of the mind, that your thought process was more analytical of the questions itself instead of focusing on the action part of those questions which were asked. So this is the one observation I have. If instead of that calculative responses, you focus on actions, your body language and your tone will improve automatically.
Okay.
That is the observation and suggestion from my side. That's all.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First.
even I felt that you were focusing on making it, like the answer right, in the sense you were thoughtful about it, that you should, obviously you want to be hired, but I felt that is behind. Can you put it on mute? So something was there. I mean, something slightly like the Kalyan, you are always very, very pro. There was some gap. Maybe because we really pushed a lot of questions which were tougher and tougher, and we were trying to really scrutinize you. That was also maybe one of the reasons maybe you became very cautious.
Okay.
Yeah, but you were not answering in a free flow, means I felt that you were cautious about answering instead of being on a flow. So if you could, whatever you spoke, even if you still speak the same, but you speak with a flow and an energy, it would look more natural. It would look more, it would look more convincing.
Okay. Preeti ji.
As good as ever. It's always, how many ever times you've done it, it's always tough every time. So kudos for that. I have a very quick few observations. Yeah, I love the confidence as always, how you answer. You can always ask questions. Today's, it was more like taking questions. You can always do counter question. Like, I think there was a question where you gave an answer about the decision tree, about the platform capabilities. Okay, which of the platforms will you choose or will you recommend? I think there was a question like that. So for which you said decision tree and platform capabilities and all that, you can always ask, what is the scenario? What is the situation? Or what is the requirement? Based on that, I can give you my recommendation, right?
Okay.
So ask questions. It'll just show that you are being involved in that whole process. And then about your 100% achievement with your customers. I somewhere had a doubt, is it because it's Kalyan Chakravarti or is it that you follow a certain process? So somewhere maybe you can say that it's not just about me. I have built my team in a way that not just me, but any of my team members also can achieve this 100%. It talks of your capabilities, and it also talks of how you're passing it on or cultivating that habit or the culture in your team as well. So at this point of time, it is very important that you don't talk just about your own thing. A lot of times you have to also mention or include what you have done to the team or how you have cultivated the team. While you should talk of what you have done, there are multiple places that you can bring in your team and what it was and how you have groomed and all that, right? Then, yeah, your leadership style, you opened by saying, I'm a democratic leader. The whole answer was correct, but what I would suggest is you should build that climax. You said you will take consensus, then you take, and then you said teamwork, um, and then all those things that is about democratic. All you said some 3 points, and then you say democratic. The answer is even better. You building that suspense, and then you say democratic. It's even more interesting. Your answer gets more interesting. Your answer was right, but the way you articulated, don't give the answer upfront. Give your points and then say, so I believe, this is why I believe in democratic leadership. And you did not have to explain what would you do in case of there was another part to it. Situational, because in some places it requires strategic decision, it requires that experience, it requires that expertise. So in all those cases, I would adopt situational leadership, and I would expect my team members, or I would demonstrate this to my team members so that they learn from it.
Yeah, but you can't duck the
Explained a little
question,
bit
right?
more.
No, but you can't see. A specific question was, when you adopt this style of leadership, let's say there is one who rewards. He's a brilliant individual, right? So what do you do in that situation? So you can't,
No.
if you say that.
My comment is for, she also said there could be some situations where you have to quickly take some decisions. So what you answered for that is fine. But again, you said, I will explain this to my team members and then I will go ahead and I will adopt strategic thinking. I will do this and I'll demonstrate it to my team. I'll be a situational leader. Every time the answer does not have to be, very elaborate or in detail. Right? And I love the fact that you left the decision to your son, whether he wants to do. Because if you remember, Sam Altman is recommending all children not to listen to their parents. During the AI Summit, he's made a statement that don't listen to your parents. So that was a very good answer. I love the fact that you're not pushing or impressing on your kids about it. I think, and then it's fine. Yeah,
Thank
rest
you.
of it is great.
Sridhar
Okay,
has the last word. Yeah,
one
go
more,
ahead.
Kalyan. So what will you do in the new company? You can nicely segment it, You said existing projects. Then you can also say bring in new projects because this is where my expertise has been. And then also you would want to experiment with something new. You can use all your technical jargon. Sorry, I'm not a techie. And another part is where I would love to empower all the teams, not just my teams, but I would love it if we empower all the teams, be experimental in what they are doing, and come up with innovative ideas. Right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's here or somewhere else that I heard. Google's most revenue generating ideas are from where it's not been their own profiles. Like I'm into digital marketing. I have gone into some other team, contributed my idea, and that's generated revenues. So they have some, I don't know if I heard it here or where. So it works. Give a free hand to team members to experiment and innovate. Yeah. So yeah, overall, as
Sridhar,
a meaningful endeavor. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. This means a lot.
Pleasure.
Sure. Right. I'm sorry I joined very late. I joined at 10:30 today for other reasons. So the moment I joined the call, I had one impression, Kalyanji.
Mhm.
Why is he sitting like this? The posture. You are almost inclined towards the monitor, which I feel as a leader should not be the case. But when you're talking to Preeti now, just a while ago, you are speaking like a leader, leaning back on the chair, showing the confidence. And then that is exactly probably is what we have to practice. I agree that leaning forward shows the intention, but at the roles of CXOs, it has to be leaning backwards, sitting freely, and then speaking like a leader. If I look at the videos of the interviews of the great leaders, they don't lead forward. They actually sit
Sridhar,
relaxed.
I felt that Kalyan was standing and giving the interview.
I mean,
I think
that's
he
my.
was not there.
I was not there. I
So
joined at
Oh, acha.
10:30.
okay,
Yeah, that
He
time
was
he
He was
responding to
standing,
your
yeah.
questions. He was answering your questions, and then that's what I have seen. He was forwarding very, like this right now. So
Hmm.
that kind of, it's. I was there like an engineer when I was an engineer. Now, as I grown up the ladder, I actually started sitting like Preeti now. So I think that's one posture correction could actually add little value in terms of the visual body language, etc. Because your hand movements will be more easier, free flowing comes up. Like I'm actually still, lying on the bed and not able to speak properly. So that probably is a correction you can do that with the posture. Otherwise, you are the best.
Thank you. Oh, we were supposed to talk Sridhar, but yeah, let's talk on Friday. Tomorrow is a choke block.
No, that's
We'll talk
absolutely
on
fine.
Friday. Yeah.
I've been busy
Okay.
too, so I couldn't even message you. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ravi. Thank you, Sridhar. Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Ravikant ji. Thank you, Sachin. Thank you, Preeti ji. Thank you, Divya. And thank you, Lohita. And thank you, Geetanjali ji as well. Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Divya, you
you.
want to say something?
We wish you all the best, Kalyan.
Thank you. Thanks, Sachin.
Good
Do you
night,
have
guys.
a interview scheduled?
All the best.
Oh, all the best. All
Yeah.
the best.
So it's tomorrow.
All the
Yeah.
best, Kalyan. Oh, all the best.
All the best, Kalyanji.
Oh,
Okay,
this was a
Thank you,
refresher.
Divya.
I'm
Okay.
celebrating on the weekend on your behalf. Then I'm being
Thank you.
optimistic about you.
All the best, Kalyan.
All the
Thank
best,
you. Thank you.
Kalyan.
Thank you, Preeti. Thank you, Geetanjali ji. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And I think Kalyan, just stay back and rest all can log off.
Okay, bye-bye. Good night.
Lohita, you also go. Divya, you also go. Rajesh, you too can leave.
Oh, Rajesh did not give the
Rajesh
feedback.
are there.
Okay,
Rajesh, you
Rajesh,
can give your
your
feedback.
feedback, please. Oh, okay, so he left. बोलिए गुरुजी.
What happened to you today? You
I don't
were
think it-
answering the questions as if you had to answer. Answer the questions smartly. No, you don't lose your charm. We were pulling you, we will pull you because if tomorrow you are grilled in the actual interview, you're already grilled here. That's a practice.
नहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है. So I just see my whole attempt was to thoughtfully answer. I did not get irritated. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. And it was
No,
not
I
as
am
if
not
I've been.
saying I am not saying you were irritated. I never used even that word. I
Hmm,
said मुझे जवाब देना है इसलिए मैं जवाब दे रहा हूँ.
नहीं,
That
नहीं, नहीं.
feel was there.
No, I said I'm enjoying, right? So I said I'm enjoying, and I said,
I'll send you this. Divya, just what do? Send this video to him. And बीच में जाके forward करके expression देखना आप. Your expression and your speaking was not in line. इसको stop कर देते हैं 1 मिनट. हाँ, so that you can